We are doing our best to be respectful of what is happening in that courtroom, but also at the same time relaying the proper information to you. Elizabeth, I know my time with you is limited. I know you have to go back in there, so I want to ask you real quick, what were the highlights of the cross-examination, and also what is the tone by which the cross-examination is being done? Is it combative back and forth? That's the thing we can't get from the transcript right now.
Yeah, as far as the cross-examination goes, for the most part, it seems very casual. We were thinking that it might be aggressive, it might be combative, but for the most part, Cassie has been very forthcoming in answering these questions,
Cassie Ventura has finally broken her silence, not only after testifying in Sean Diddy Combs' explosive trial, but also just weeks after welcoming her third child. Her emotional message has sent shockwaves through the music and entertainment world, reigniting conversations about her past relationship with Diddy, her courage in the courtroom, and the personal changes happening in her life right now. From court battles to family milestones, Cassie's story has layers the public can't stop talking about. Cassie's return to the public eye comes after a turbulent few months. She took the stand in one of the most high-profile trials in the music industry, a case that has placed Diddy under intense legal scrutiny. While the exact details of her testimony remain sealed, sources close to the matter say her words were powerful and deeply personal, offering insight into years of private experiences that have now entered a public forum. It's rare for someone so private to step into such a visible legal spotlight, making her appearance all the more significant. Fans, critics, and industry insiders have been dissecting her every move since, wondering what it means for both the case and her future. Cassie Ventura has long been known for her music career and her understated presence in the industry, but her connection to Sean Diddy Combs has always been a point of public fascination. Their relationship, once glamorized in the media, took a darker turn in recent years as allegations began to surface about Diddy's behavior. Cassie's voice in this trial is particularly impactful because she was not just a passing figure in his life. She was a central part of his inner world for over a decade. This proximity gives her words weight, and it's why the courtroom paid close attention when she took the stand. Her willingness to appear publicly and speak under oath signals a turning point in how celebrity relationships and accountability are addressed.
She is asking for a freak off, or she's, asking, about just more intimate details from her relationship with him. Because to your point, Jesse, a lot of this stuff, a lot of some of these messages that we did see in court today were very graphic in nature. And so, the questioning was starting out about the relationship between the two. When it first started out in around that 2007 time period, around that 2009 period, that's when the questioning at the beginning of it kind of all started. And you would think that would be, an aggressive moment or a combative moment, especially as you're seeing messages that say, "I'm a very lucky woman. I miss you, and I'd fly wherever you need me. I love you." And then you see Diddy respond, "I love you so much. It makes me cry." And then Cassie writing back, "You hungry pop pop." But I'm thinking, just from my perspective, that around those time frames, she was still relatively young.
In her first message since testifying, Cassie didn't focus on scandal or speculation. Instead, she shared a deeply personal post reflecting on strength, growth, and gratitude. While she didn't mention Diddy's name directly, the context was clear. She was speaking from a place of survival and self-awareness. The timing of her message, coming shortly after welcoming her third child, made it even more powerful. For many fans, this was a sign that she's moving forward with her life, despite the shadows of the past. The contrast between the joy of new motherhood and the heavy realities of legal testimony painted a complex human picture of a woman navigating two drastically different life chapters at once. Social media lit up instantly after Cassie's message went live. Her post was flooded with supportive comments, with fans calling her brave, inspiring, and a true survivor. Even fellow celebrities chimed in, sending her public words of encouragement. However, there was also no shortage of online debate. Some questioned why she chose to speak now, in the middle of a trial that is still unfolding. Others saw her timing as a deliberate statement, a way of taking control of her narrative while public interest in the case remains high. Either way, the impact was undeniable. Cassie had everyone talking again, shifting the conversation from courtroom rumors to her own voice.
where it
Cassie's history with
where
Diddy has
we
been the
got
subject
it.
of media speculation for years.
It was a good question. Now
but
I'm
much
having
of their
trouble
private
finding
life
it.
remained
Okay.
just that.
This is a question
private.
from
Now,
Jaden
the
Jarrell.
trial has
I'm going to throw
pulled
this
back
to
the
you,
curtain on a
Safa.
side of
Do
the
you
music
think that
mogul's
text
world
messages
that the
make
public
her
rarely
not
saw?
credible?
The
And when we think
allegations
about
against
text
Diddy,
messages,
which
I'll
span
give you an
multiple
example.
incidents and testimonies,
This was one
have put
from
intense
apparently
pressure
she
on his
wrote
career and
to
personal
Combs
image.
in an
Cassie's
email.
involvement
In
brings
order for
added
me to be
credibility
more
to the
open
proceedings.
with the things we
Given
do
her
in bed, I need
long-standing
to feel
role in his
safe,
life,
like home.
legal
Like
experts
this is
note
my
that her
husband.
testimony,
This is the only
even
man
without
that
full
will ever
public
have this
disclosure,
aggressive
could
sexual
carry
side of me.
significant
When we used to
influence over
freak
the
off,
case's
when we were
direction.
so in love,
For
there were
Diddy,
no questions
her
asked. It
appearance in
felt
court
right.
may be one
Like
of the
it
most
literally
damaging
made sense for the
developments
next
yet.
step.
While Cassie has avoided giving interviews or detailed public statements about her testimony, those close to her suggest that the experience was both emotionally draining and empowering. Testifying in such a high-profile case requires immense courage, particularly when the defendant is a figure as influential as Diddy. The power imbalance alone could have been enough to discourage her from speaking out, but Cassie's decision to participate signals a quiet defiance. Friends have described her as resolute and determined to see justice served. For her supporters, this aligns with the image she's projecting, that of a woman who refuses to let fear dictate her choices, even when facing a cultural giant. The court of public opinion is often just as loud as the one inside the legal system, and in Diddy's case, both are in full swing. Cassie's testimony has intensified scrutiny, with commentators on television and social media dissecting every potential implication. While the actual trial proceedings remain bound by legal protocol, the outside world operates without such restrictions. Public sentiment seems to be shifting, not just about Diddy, but about the broader issue of power dynamics in the entertainment industry. Cassie's role has made her an emblem of speaking truth to power, even as she never set out to become one. That unplanned symbolism is part of why her words resonate so widely.
There's a role here, Jesse. It goes in every different direction. First of all, the people who are taking the poll are almost self-selected, right? They're obviously interested and have been following the Diddy case for a long time. They might actually know, your law and crime viewers might know a lot more about this case than the jurors do, at least at this point.
At the same time, Cassie's personal life has taken a major turn. Welcoming her third child in the middle of such a storm could have been overwhelming, but by all accounts, she's embraced motherhood with renewed energy. Her social media shows glimpses of family life, but nothing excessive, just enough for fans to see her joy without giving too much away. For Cassie, this seems to be part of a broader strategy to balance transparency with privacy. It's a reminder that while the world may be focused on her courtroom role, her own priorities are centered around building a peaceful home and ensuring her children grow up far from the chaos of public scandals. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team has been working hard to discredit parts of the testimony against him, though they have not directly attacked Cassie in public statements. This restraint may be strategic. Going after such a sympathetic figure could easily backfire. Still, court insiders say his defense is carefully monitoring any public statement she makes, including her recent social media post. They're fully aware that public perception can influence jury attitudes, even indirectly. For Diddy, every headline involving Cassie is another hurdle to overcome, and her decision to speak publicly, no matter how subtle, adds an extra layer of complexity to an already high-stakes trial.
A lot more they need to question her about, and there's a lot more that I'd imagine the prosecution wants to come back at with a redirect. Why is it so important to have this testimony finished up by the end of the week? Do you think that this is realistically going to end by tomorrow, or do you think this has to extend until Monday? I mean, doesn't the defense and the prosecution have a right to question this witness as much as they need to? This is the star witness in this case.
100%. I would highly doubt that this is going to end today. Most likely it will continue tomorrow, possibly into Monday. I'm smiling because I think it's
Beyond the legal drama, Cassie's story is also sparking larger cultural discussions. Commentators are noting how her situation mirrors broader patterns where women in the entertainment industry face immense pressure to stay silent about powerful figures. By stepping into the public eye during the trial, Cassie has inadvertently reignited conversations about accountability, industry protectionism, and the hidden cost of fame. Her experience, while unique in its details, resonates with countless untold stories from behind closed doors. The fact that her voice is being heard and amplified in this moment suggests that the entertainment landscape may finally be shifting toward greater transparency, even if change comes slowly. The emotional weight of Cassie's testimony is not lost on those who have followed her career. From the early days of her breakout hit Me and You to her more recent, quieter public presence, she has never been one to thrive on controversy. This makes her current position even more striking. Choosing to testify against someone with Diddy's influence comes with risks, not just professionally, but personally. Yet she appears unshaken in her resolve. Many believe her calm demeanor in court is a strategic strength, signaling to the jury that she is there for truth, not spectacle. It's a deliberate contrast to the often chaotic nature of high-profile trials. Meanwhile, fans are debating whether Cassie will eventually give a full interview about her experience. Some think she'll sit down with a major outlet like Oprah or Gayle King once the trial concludes, while others believe she will maintain her privacy indefinitely. Either way, her selective approach to speaking publicly is keeping interest high. Every short statement she releases sparks headlines and speculation, which in turn keeps her voice relevant without overexposing her. It's a delicate balance, but so far, Cassie seems to be navigating it flawlessly, ensuring that when she does speak, people listen and listen closely. On the legal side, experts point out that Cassie's testimony could influence other witnesses to come forward. In high-profile cases, it's not uncommon for one person's courage to inspire others who were previously hesitant to share their stories. If more individuals decide to speak against Diddy as a result of Cassie's presence, it could shift the momentum of the trial significantly. This possibility is not lost on prosecutors, who are reportedly keeping communication lines open for potential new testimonies. Cassie's willingness to face public scrutiny may ultimately have a ripple effect far beyond her own involvement. The media's handling of Cassie's story has also come under discussion. While many outlets are covering her respectfully, some tabloids have tried to sensationalize her personal life alongside the trial. This blending of the private and legal spheres can be frustrating for public figures. But Cassie seems to be handling it with quiet control. By releasing her own message on her terms, she bypassed gossip-driven narratives and delivered her thoughts directly to her audience. In doing so, she reminded the public and the press that she is not just a supporting character in someone else's scandal, but an independent voice with her own story to tell. The reaction from Diddy's fan base has been mixed. While some loyal supporters are defending him fiercely, others are expressing disappointment and shock at the allegations. Cassie's role in the trial complicates things further, as she was once an integral part of Diddy's public image, attending red carpets, sharing stages, and appearing in music videos together. For longtime fans, seeing their past partnership now reframed through the lens of legal conflict is jarring. It challenges the glossy image they once held, forcing them to reconcile the public persona with the troubling accusations surfacing in court. In the midst of all this, Cassie's message about strength and gratitude after the birth of her third child stands out as a beacon of hope. It's a reminder that even in moments of public turmoil, personal milestones can still bring joy and meaning. For many, this is the most inspiring part of her story. The idea that resilience doesn't mean ignoring hardship, but choosing to embrace life in spite of it. This duality of facing serious allegations in court while celebrating new life at home paints Cassie as a multi-dimensional figure, not just defined by one chapter of her past. Observers have noted that Cassie's approach to the trial mirrors a growing trend among public figures facing high-pressure situations, reclaiming control of the narrative through social media. By using her own platform to share carefully chosen words, she can speak directly to the public without the filter of traditional media. This strategy allows her to set the tone, maintain dignity, and avoid being reduced to mere headlines. In the context of a case as public as Diddy's, that level of control is not just smart. It's essential for preserving her mental and emotional well-being. As the trial continues, the stakes remain incredibly high. For Diddy, his legacy, career, and public standing hang in the balance. For Cassie, the trial represents both a painful revisiting of the past and a potential step toward closure. Whatever the verdict, her decision to testify will likely be remembered as a defining moment in her public life. In the years to come, this may be seen not just as a celebrity scandal, but as a key example of how public figures navigate truth-telling in the face of power and influence. Cassie's choice to speak now ensures she will be part of that conversation. Ultimately, Cassie Ventura's journey through this trial is about far more than one relationship or one celebrity case. It's about resilience, self-definition, and the courage to speak out even when the odds are daunting. Her message following her testimony reflects a woman who has faced immense challenges but refuses to be defined solely by them. Whether she chooses to share more of her story in the future or let her court appearance speak for itself, Cassie has already made her mark. In doing so, she's become a symbol of strength, not because she sought the spotlight, but because she stood her ground when it mattered most.